trust Will. Hey, welcome. It is Speedify Live Office Hours. Since Nat is asking, how is our audio, Nat? Is volume okay? Mike, test.
Does it sound good? Yes, no?
All right. Yeah, so last week some people were complaining our volume was too low, and then right at the very end they said, "Oh, we meant only Will." Like, well, how are we supposed to debug that? So, can you hear us? Can you hear Mike? Can you hear me?
Hey, Nat.
All right. Alan asks, can you explain what dispatch does in the server selection? I didn't know we were talking about dispatch just yet. The answer is dispatch does not select a server. Dispatch is an experimental new mode in Speedify. We've also got a little standalone app that we're giving to a few people to try it out. That does not connect to a server. It does not VPN. It load balances. It looks at all of your internet connections, and every time you go to start a new stream of traffic, whether you're uploading file, downloading file, starting a call, we pick what we think is your best internet connection, put it on. And then you start another one, and we pick what your best internet connection is, subtracting off that we know that first one's busy with the thing you did before, so maybe it's not the best when you take that into account, and we spread your traffic out. It has different properties. It doesn't hide your location at all. Sorry, Mike.
No.
It can't move connections. We if you have a whole bunch of connections, we can put them on all your different internet connections. But if something happens to one of your internet connections, we can't actually move those. We have to break them. Tell your app, oh, that failed, and then the apps have to recreate and do it again.
Still quick.
Yeah,
still breaks it.
But you don't have another server in the middle, so latency can be even lower. It's 6 of this, half a dozen of those. So anyway, I'm Alex. I'm here with Mike.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys can hear us. And this is Speedify Office Hours. You have questions about Speedify? We answer them. So how do you ask them? You just post them in the comments. Actually, maybe it's over there, or there. Wherever you see comments where you're watching this video, you just type out your question, and we will answer them. All right, so we good on audio volume, Nat? All right. So what things are... So we posted a video talking about WiMax, and it got a huge amount of traffic. And we posted another video about WiMax, and it got a huge amount of traffic. We're mildly confused.
I couldn't understand that. Yeah,
it's the hot technology of 2008 that died out by 2011. Did any of you use it? You guys ever use WiMax?
What devices would you use WiMax in?
So there was an Android phone.
Okay.
I don't remember, but it was one that Google blessed as the very first one to get like Android 3 or whatever it was. What was a WiMax phone, and a company called Clear, which was kind of owned by Sprint, sold these 4G dongles that when you plugged into your computer just showed up as an Ethernet.
Oh, sweet.
Which meant you didn't need any drivers. It meant you could plug it into a Mac, you could plug it into a PC, you could plug it into a Linux computer, which might have been Unix at the time, right? But yeah, just whatever computer could use USB Ethernet dongles, you could just plug this thing in and get 10 megabits.
Hey, at the time that was good.
Of wireless data, anywhere in America. And I was a happy customer. I had that phone. I gotta be honest, I didn't really use it.
No.
I switched to an iPhone.
I was like, that was when the iPhone came out too. Like that was iPhone 3G.
iPhone came out and I was done. But I had that dongle and I was a happy customer until basically they announced they were shutting it down. It was a great little device for the time. But yeah, so it was 4G. So WiMax was the original 4G, right? There was LTE and WiMax were the two different things that qualified as 4G, and WiMax got out first. But the phone companies were so behind LTE, right?
They banded together.
Yes, Sprint liked WiMax, but Verizon and AT&T liked LTE, and so they won. Oh, it was the HTC Max 4G. Yeah, I did in fact. Definitely was an HTC phone. So
those naming conventions.
Do you have any statistics on which mobile service or ISPs have better service? That's an interesting question. We probably have a bunch of raw data. So to be clear, we never look at what websites you're visiting, what DNS lookups you do, what IP addresses you visit. But we do temporarily store performance data for the different ISPs, mostly to track down disasters.
Mm-hmm. Needed too, yeah.
Hey, wait. Hundreds of people on Verizon are saying it's not working. This might not be a bug in our software, right? Yeah. So I probably have the data that goes.
A heat map of that would be really awesome.
Verizon versus. But we also don't track people's locations.
That's true.
So it's not like I'm going to find a dead spot. You see the privacy stuff. I do such fun things. I wasn't so serious about privacy. It was very short-lived in Malaysia. Horrible service. Yeah, for a while, Clear was pretty good here. At least in the places I went. I mean, whether it worked in Alabama, I don't know. But in Philadelphia and the suburbs, things like that, it worked pretty well. All right. David says, I have a new MacBook and my phone won't bond with it. Do I have to delete Speedify from my old device? I have a new MacBook.
What?
There. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, first question.
I think I need more details. Right?
Does Speedify recognize your device? Does Speedify recognize that it's a cellular device plugged into your Mac? Are you using parent share? There is a setting on the Mac where you have to check it to use your iPhone as a tethering device.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Do these things control volume? I don't think so.
Tech says our sound is too low. All right. We're close to top.
Yeah, we don't want to blow you out.
How are we? Yes? No?
Maybe so.
All right. Anyway, we'll just speak loudly. All right. So Brian says, I have a poor cellular connection at home. My iPhone is often on Wi-Fi calling, but occasionally flips back and forth with the towers during a call. Would Speedify help eliminate the back and forth?
Not on calling.
We don't affect Wi-Fi calling. We do, if you do like a Google Teams call over Wi-Fi and stuff, that we help with. But if it's the phone's built-in Wi-Fi calling, your carrier and your phone's operating system, iOS, take care of that and do not want us helping them because they think they're so good at it. Which is why it works worse than... So yeah, that's kind of tough. All right.
I will add to Brian, if you tell your phone company how poor it is, my phone company sent me a cellular extender and it plugs into the Ethernet ports of the router. Gave me perfect signal at home.
All right. You keep talking to me.
Sure. So Gusta Daniel, can I use Miri X510 bonding router without Speedify, or this device is compatible only with Speedify? 2, are there any other routers for bonding that are compatible with Speedify?
Can I use the external Miri router without Speedify? Yes. I mean, it's made for Speedify. I mean, it'll keep prompting you you know, if you haven't logged in. But I mean, you can turn off Speedify and things.
But Miri won't bond without Speedify.
Right. I mean, there won't be any bonding. It'll just be a, well, I mean, it's a router with 5G, 4G.
Yeah.
You know, bunch of Ethernet ports. I mean, it's still a good device, even without Speedify. Are there any other routers for bonding that are compatible with Speedify? The other routers sold with Speedify today are super high-end things sold by managed service providers for very special use cases, like your super yacht. Yeah. Your passenger airline. But there are a lot of OpenWRT devices. Right? Speedify does run OpenWRT on both the ARM and Intel. Technically, it runs on MIPS, but I got to be honest, if you're looking for a new device, do not get a MIPS one.
Yeah.
The performance is so much better on ARM and Intel. All right. So from his old MacBook, pair and share. This is MacBook, new MacBook, and his phone won't bond with it. Do I have to delete Speedify? Did you install Speedify on the new MacBook? Or did macOS magically copy it over for you? That's a question. We had someone the other day who had an odd experience where going from one iPhone to a new iPhone, when it copied the app over, it didn't quite get it right. Could it be that? All right. My normal volume is 50. My volume currently says 65. I assume that Ryan will respond to my message and come over here and fix this. You think that if we get rid of the lab? All right, there we go. Reading comments. Let's try this.
What are we doing? Unplugging?
It says unplug this. Put the unit up on your shirt. Is this better, guys? All right. Trying something new here. All right. Mahagrand. It's from Thailand and uses Speedify.
Nice.
Hey, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Can you show on the Mac where I turn on pair? Sure, let's do this. Boop. Get my mouse all the way over there. All right. So parent share should show up here, but it also appears in the menu. Scroll down, parent share. Bob. And from here, you should be able to.
That's me if you want to show them the iPhone.
Right. Make sure that things that should be here, right? Receiving should be on. Pairing requests should either be ask or automatically accept. You definitely don't want to ignore, that would break things. You know, Teams Family Mine, it actually should just, once receiving is on, it should just pretty much connect up. I don't think you need always on discovery, do you?
No. As long as the UI is up, it's trying to discover.
Yeah. So you make sure receiving is on, make sure pairing requests is either ask or automatically accept. And hopefully that would work. All right, Roger's. Everybody's saying that much better.
Ah, so it's mics.
All right, so David did copy it over. He did not install it.
Okay.
Is there a chance that it has duplicated his device ID and he's now using the old device ID on the new?
Could David, can you send us logs from your old Mac and your new Mac, and we'll help you through it if that's the case? Yeah, we could, if there is a duplicate key, we could help you fix
from
that.
Settings at the bottom, generate logs. Try that on both Macs. Send it to us, and mention that you talked to Mike and Alex, and they want these logs. All right, much better. All right. Thank you for the feedback, guys. All right, my laptop won't show any my router or any other network in my area. How can I get my internet back on my main laptop? Windows So even when you go, you click down by the clock and go to join a Wi-Fi network, it doesn't show any? I mean, there's some switches down there for like turn on Wi-Fi. You definitely can turn off your Wi-Fi. Do you literally see no Wi-Fi networks when you search for them? Or do you mean like Speedify doesn't see your Wi-Fi? Yeah, this sort of sounds like Windows just being really broken. Can I just reinstall Speedify?
No. The problem is when you transfer Speedify from one machine to another, we copy some of your keys from the old, like it's supposed to just stay on your device, but Apple actually moves your local keychains over, which is part of the problem. So it might not be your issue. So if you could send us logs, we'll look to see if it is, and we could troubleshoot with you.
We'll definitely, and even we could be totally wrong with
Yeah.
the theory. And when we see the logs, we'll probably know exactly what it is.
Yeah, if you're trying to parent share, if you're seeing errors, or let us know if you put it in the logs.
All right, so C3 says, yeah, it just stopped showing. I assume it has nothing to do with Speedify. Like if you disconnect Speedify and stuff, it's just not there. This kind of sounds like a Windows tech support issue. What would make it not? I mean, there are a bunch of switches where you can turn off your Wi-Fi. Yeah. It used to be in Control Panel. Now they blew up Control Panel because they got halfway through implementing something that would be better.
Really? Man, that was a staple, Control Panel.
It's just a nightmare. Microsoft. When aggregating connections, does Speedify run on the average megabits per second? It seems that the speed is not exactly the sum of speeds. If connections are vaguely similar, we see 90% of the speed of all of them added up. Now, a couple of implications there. If one internet connection is 10 times faster than the other, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't want to do
that. In fact, Speedify should be smart enough to just stop trying to use the one that's the 10th the speed. I think somewhere a 5th the speed it cuts off. And there are similar things. If the latencies are sufficiently different, it'll give up. We need to get better quality of experience metrics in there because we do lots to fix your packet loss, to fix your latency, to fix your jitter, and to protect you from lost connections and things. And, people just bang on speed tests sometimes don't notice that. So, I don't know. I mean, if you want to send logs, we can take a look. But generally speaking, we do pretty good. If the connection has to be sort of, I mean, if the connections are literally identical, actually, sometimes we see 105%.
Can't beat that.
You put the two together like it. It happens. It happens often enough that I don't think it's fake, right? We do stuff with header compressions and stuff. Like if you send lots of little packets, we do clever things of combining them back together into a big packet. And sometimes that can actually speed up your connection. All right. Coftech says that our sound is a bit better now, and I just think you guys should talk a little bit louder, and we will be fine. All right. Putting it a little closer.
Oh, if you're blowing your speakers out, we can talk loud. I know a lot of people just hold it when they're talking with these mics.
I don't know. Is that better? If you send the logs, it opens a ticket automatically.
And you could do that right in the app on both devices.
Yeah. Be sure when it asks you, it pops up a text box generally for your email address, and usually it's filled in correctly. If it's not, please fill in with your correct email address that we can answer back to. Turned out to be a nightmare. It turns out Apple will not let us. They've got the thing where you can hide your identity and the companies will get a fake email address. If we use the fake email addresses, Apple just rejects them. People don't have them. So people are like reaching out to our support using the Apple, what's it called?
Apple Relay.
Apple
private
Relay, private
yeah.
Relay. And Apple just rejects all of our even replies to their messages.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They can write us first, and Apple rejects them. So do not reach out to our support with your private Relay email.
I even think we clear it out for you now.
Yeah, we do. If you're up-to-date software, you should be able to type in your email address. All right, so other news. We have a new video coming out after the stream, another Between Two Palms discussion about WiMax and why it lost the war against LTE. It's interesting stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm a little surprised people still care, but they do.
Bring it back.
We get so many views when we talk about WiMax. It's apparently an emotional topic for a lot of people. All right. Gustav says, I'm going to connect Wi-Fi, a SIM card, and Starlink. But to share connections, all devices should be in the same Wi-Fi network. On a phone, I know how to connect Wi-Fi and SIM card data in the same time. But how do I do it on other devices? Do I need a bonding router or no? Couple options. So if you have a device, a PC, a Mac, that can join all these things, right? Join the Wi-Fi, USB tether the phone. That's what I'm doing on this Mac. I've got cellular on this Mac because I tethered an iPhone to it. Starlink, you can join as Wi-Fi, or you can Ethernet to it if you buy the right adapter. So that's what I'll typically do. I'll have Ethernet to the Starlink. I'll have Wi-Fi to the Comcast cable modem, and I will have cellular USB'd in. And now my Mac has 3 internet connections, and that works fine for me. If you're talking about scale where there's 6 different laptops and a PlayStation and some Raspberry Pis, and you want them all to be able to share all of these connections, then yeah, you want to get a router running Speedify that controls all these connections, bonds them, and then shares them as standard Wi-Fi or standard Ethernet to all those others. Does that make sense? Miri Router, it is fantastic.
Yep.
$2,000 with 15 months of Speedify service. It is this solid router for professional video people. It has 5G, it has 4G, it has Wi-Fi 6, it has 4 Ethernet ports, any of which can be uplinks or downlinks. It has USB ports. It uses Sony hot swappable batteries. It is fantastic. Go to speedify.com/Miri. You can see it. All right. Roy says, hey guys, I love Speedify. May I just suggest a setting to disregard connection cost when deciding which connection to use? All my connections are unlimited.
You could do that now, right?
I mean, yeah, you can set everything to secondary. Router name.
Miri?
Miri. M-I-R-I. X510. Let's type in the comment box. Boop.
You're going to love it. It's amazing.
And, can I cut and paste here? I don't know. Let's see.
Nice.
All right. David has a pro question here. Can I tether an Android device to a MacBook Pro? The answer is, if it is a recent Android device with a recent operating system, my impression is everything made in the last year and a half should work. So the trick isn't the Mac. The Mac purposely refuses to talk to Android devices. They made sure to not implement the drivers that are needed.
Oh,
But the new Android devices have a feature, I don't remember the exact name of it, where they'll just switch and pretend to be an Ethernet. Like I said, the Clear card used to. The new Android phones will tell Macs that they are an Ethernet card. Bah! Macs support that. Suddenly you can tether an Android. But you know, I have a Pixel 7, and that's too old. I think it was Pixel 8 it started with.
Okay, David, if that's the case, then it is not a key issue. So just send us the logs from your new MacBook, and we'll definitely take a look at why parent share isn't working. If you want to send us logs of your iPhone as well, that would be helpful.
All right, I live stream sports using Speedify and 2 mobile hotspots at different carriers. In regards to transport mode, I understand that there's an automatic mode, but would there be an advantage to UDP? I hate to sound like Kevin, but it depends. So the UDP we've built our own transport protocol on top of UDP, and that's what you're using when you use UDP. And it has just fantastic error correction. Its ability to deal with loss and jitter and stuff is downright amazing. But like, there's a top speed to it. It's not our fault, but you know, you can't use all the hardware acceleration. The routers don't have hardware. You know, all the TCP stuff. There's hardware acceleration and stuff. So generally, we try to use TCP, and unless TCP is, you know, in the automatic mode, we generally try to use TCP. And if that's really not working for you, then we'll go to the UDP. It depends. I mean, if you really feel like you're not getting great results, then that's certainly something to try. But you know, if you're just fooling around with settings, I'd probably leave it on automatic. If you haven't seen a problem. Yeah, it can be if you're not dealing with very high speed stuff. Did a nice job on our UDP protocol. All right. So when's the next release of Speedify?
Oh, I'm hoping next week. Yeah. It should be a really good one.
You want to give us some hints?
Yeah, 15.5 is going to have a lot more Starlink support. So it's going to be a lot more fun stuff to play with. We're also doing a few optimizations on iOS and Mac. We're bumping the versions up a little bit. So, you know, we're sure all the security patches that, you know, people are running are with Speedify, and, you know, some of the new code so it runs a little bit smoother. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, no, generally speaking, if you're running an operating system so old that we're down to 3% of people still running it, sorry, it's time to move on. So we're dropping support for like iOS 15,
15 and 16,
Mac OS 10.
That's like Christmas in March, but yes.
Yeah. All right, I live stream sports using.
Wait, we
did I do that? Oh, sorry. Here's his follow up.
Raspberry.
This is the Raspberry Pi 4, if that helps. Raspberry Pi 4's an oldie but a goodie. They're not the best device for Speedify. They're ARMs, which is I said earlier, ARMs are good. Choose an ARM, not a MIPS. But Raspberry Pi 4s are lacking hardware acceleration at all. So Speedify has to do all of its encryption in software. So you can do 400 megabits on a Raspberry Pi 4, but that really is the absolute top. Or Raspberry Pi 5. Fired it up and I was doing 850 megabits.
That's crazy.
And the CPU was not terribly busy. And I just, that was how fast my internet connection was. So, you know.
Might be worth the quick upgrade.
Again, if you're just live streaming, if you're going for 20 megabits, you know, we get excited about, oh my God, you can't do 1,000 megabits. Yeah. But if you're trying to do 10 megabits, this is a non-concern. You should be fine.
Yeah, is your streams okay? You're just looking to squeeze out a little bit more?
Christmas, more like Halloween for mine.
Halloween in March.
Yeah, so do check out that video about WiMax and how I lost the 4G war. There's a lot of videos up on our YouTube. Go look for Speedify. These Between Two Palms, where people ask me about communications with the moon or WiMax. It's been fun. I'm doing a lot of reading about the network protocols they use to talk to probes on the moon and Mars and stuff.
How cool is that? I grab a coffee every morning and watch the videos myself at home. It's great. It's entertaining, and you learn. Can't beat it.
Yeah. There's this whole suite of protocols for like talking to satellites and for satellites to talk to their landers. There's a protocol for that. It's crazy. Who's Alex going with for March Madness?
Oh, it is time.
Well, I tell you, for years, my March Madness strategy has been find Barack Obama's bracket.
He does good.
He talks so smart. He explains every team why they're going to win and lose. And he's wrong. He sounds so good, and I lose every bracket because I do what Barack Obama says. And for some reason, despite him sounding so smart, he does not post winning brackets. So that's how far I've gotten. I've realized the Barack Obama strategy is over. He may sound smart, but that doesn't win March Madness brackets. Does anyone else have a strategy?
Go Gators are going to take it this year, so let's see.
All right, streams are great. If the second connection is there, it's more than adequate. I just wanted to learn more about the capabilities. I used the Pi 4 because of my power limitation. Yeah, that's right. So for anyone listening to the Obama bracket, it's probably the
join our bracket,
right? Because Alex always loses. That's the actual common theme. That's what Brian's getting at. So I went to Mobile World Congress, one of the biggest trade shows in the world. The entire tech, everybody involved in telecommunications and mobile. So all the phone makers. All of the carriers from everywhere in the world, the router makers, the switch makers, software companies for making software for planning networks, 109,000 people. I was walking 20,000 steps a day.
Wow. 3
days straight, rushing from meeting to meeting because everyone I wanted to meet was there. And so I was, and it's so huge. It's 8 giant halls. And so I was like, I'll meet you in hall 1. The next guy's like, okay. And 10 minutes after that, I'll meet you in hall 8. And so I'm rushing back and forth all day. 20,000 steps a day. I could show you my health app to prove it.
Alex Kaz like this now.
And then after the last night, I'm going out for dinner. And it's raining. And there's a little puddle. And I hop over it. And pop! My calf muscle goes. And I almost fall, and I discovered just my left leg doesn't work anymore. Drag my ass back to the hotel, eat at the hotel bar. Yeah, turns out I tore my calf muscle.
That's crazy.
Pretty bad. So anyway, I made it through the show, but I didn't make it home okay. All right, Samsung S24 Ultra.
That's what he's trying to pair with his new MacBook. Yeah, send us the locks from the Samsung and the Mac.
Send us locks from that too, yeah. They are great to watch. Where's the podcast?
Right? I need like an hour in my ear.
I think about that sometimes, and other people are good.
It could just be the Alex podcast. Alex has some good stories and good topics.
So a friend of mine, Brent Halliburton, was one of our guests at one point. I was asking, he has one of the top Pokemon podcasts. I was asking him the secret. And what he does is he has 2 people on, and he just asks them questions. And they answer his questions, they talk about it, and when the conversation dies, he asks another question. And then when he goes to edit it, He chops himself out.
So he's not really in his own podcast?
So he's not really in his own podcast. But it sounds like these guys are having a brilliant conversation with no pauses at all. They go from one interesting topic to another because you can't tell they're answering Brent's questions.
That's a good host.
Right? So that's a good host, right? So, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
But to have the guts to just edit yourself out. Yeah, I wonder, like, if you took our videos and just had the sound, would they work? I think you probably still need some explanation, some background.
You guys don't use a lot of visuals in your...
Yeah, I mean, I guess these ones, the palms are really just us sitting there talking.
Yeah.
I guess there aren't really any visuals. Yeah, I don't know. Would you guys listen to a podcast?
Definitely want some longer form. Some of the shorts, like, they're just like, not even you, everywhere. Everything's 3 minutes. I'm like, I need more.
So typically we talk for 20 minutes.
Yeah, then it gets cut. Yeah,
and then edit it down to a 4-minute long video.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 shorts, which are less than a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the
and
thing,
a lot of comments. I feel bad. The people on the shorts, you know, the comments will jump in with these like subtle points that they think I don't understand. Like
they're just hearing snippets.
I understand that. I just got edited out because we were turning a 20-minute conversation into the single most interesting 45 seconds. So there isn't time for me to go on about.
Who's leaving comments on shorts now?
Turns out people are.
People are.
If you talk about. All right, another question for you guys before we end here, just to see if any of you know. All of our videos we post where we talk about communications to Moon and Mars, we get huge numbers of comments of people saying that quantum entanglement will allow faster than light communications to Mars. It's not true. Quantum entanglement is a real thing, but physicists in the 1960s proved that it could never be used for any sort of faster than light communications. Actually, it can't be used for communications, period. So the fact that it does creepy things that seem faster than the speed of light, they cannot send information. But we get so many comments telling us this, that there's some source for it. And we Google it and stuff, and we go on YouTube and search for it. And what we get, top 3 results are, it's impossible to send information with quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement doesn't give you faster than the speed of light. It seems really well done. Everywhere we go look, we got the correct answer. But somewhere these people are being misinformed in volume, right?
It's a common theme in the
internet. Yeah. Someone on the internet is wrong.
The earth is still flat.
I cannot sleep until they've been corrected. So anyway, just a question. Anyone have any idea where people are getting the idea that quantum entanglement can be used for fast and light communications?
Let us know, please.
I'd like to know. I don't think I'm going to do anything with it, but I really would like to know. What else do we have to talk about? We talked about the between two palms. What's new in Speedify 15.4? I guess it's been out for a week now, right?
15.4. Just a lot of small improvements. The Android certification, that was part of that. That was the big one.
I mentioned that last week. We are now MASA certified VPN. Google hired Decra, which is a well-known third-party security firm, to come in and audit us and our security. And they have a standard consisting of 100 different things they check to make sure the VPN, isn't doing or is doing to keep your data safe. And check. Speedify passed, so that's good. Certainly got some third-party validation that we are a secure VPN. So you can check that out. I think we have a blog post up about it that actually links to their reports. The security guys, they wrote up reports of all the things they checked and how we passed them. So if anyone has any doubts on whether we're for real or making this stuff up, we've got a good report from Decra, who We didn't even pay. Google paid to check us out.
Yeah,
So
it's real.
They had no reason to be merciful.
They weren't.
No conflict of interest. No, they tested us and we passed, and I'm actually really happy about that. It's nice to hear that.
Absolutely, that's a great little badge to have. I mean,
you know, those guys were good. Those guys are tough.
Yeah.
You know, they opened up our security tokens, checked what we were setting in there, and they were very thorough.
Should give you peace of mind.
Yeah.
And another security front, if people who haven't, we have the new Mac app on our website to download. It uses the latest Apple security code. So, you know, get rid of the old one and download the new system extension.
Yeah. So the old, for ages, you could go to our website, you could download it directly from us or go to the Mac App Store. And for a while there, the Mac App Store one was actually much better. But now the outside the Mac Store, direct from us one is better, but it is really different. I actually would you recommend uninstalling?
Yes, I personally used the website version, the system extension version. I mean, one, you get the CLI. It still is Apple Sandbox. It's still, you know, checked by Apple code. It's you know, it's what I use. So, and you get better deals on there. Yeah.
Yes, I believe it will be available online.
Yeah.
Although I think there's a delay when the stream ends before it appears.
Probably. Little edit.
But check out our channel on YouTube, Speedify. It should be up there, Jeffrey. All right, I think that is the end. None of you know where the quantum entanglement, fast and the speed of light stuff comes from. Very confusing for me because, I mean, not that misinformation on the internet is confusing to me, but I can't find it. I Google and stuff, and everything I get back tells me the correct truth. So I'm just wandering around the wrong circles, probably.
You're in the right circles. Telling you the truth.
Somewhere in Discord. Yeah, the CLI thing is there on the Mac if you go download it directly
from our website. Yes.
From our website. You go get 15.4.1 off our website, and the whole command line interface is there. Yeah.
There's even neat
that version is as good as the Windows version. Like it really is.
Yeah, no, it really is a good one. Yeah.
For a while there were things lacking from the Mac version, but it is all good. Yep. It's on the YouTube. So go, yeah. All right. I see Jeffrey is on YouTube. So yeah, check out the Speedify channel afterwards. Oh yeah, look, got a playlist of them. But yeah, there's a gap that I think is longer than you would expect. I think it's last week. It seemed like it was hours before it appeared.
That's all right.
I don't know.
Do you have any specific questions? Ask us now. If not, yeah, later today.
All right, cool. I think I'm gonna call it. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Alex.
You're really busy making Speedify work better with Starlink, and I will go back to bothering people here. What you doing? What you doing? Is anything stopping you from being productive?
It's true.
Tell me about it. All right. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you guys online.